Hey, Carl, really happy to know you're doing RPG a day this year. That's dope, dude. Stoked to hear your Traveler game is still going. You know, your first game of the year is still going. My first game of the year is still going. That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, you asked for some feedback. Here you go. It was a great episode. I don't know how much feedback we're going to be getting on these episodes, especially if we're releasing episodes every day, but we'll see how it goes, man. Anyway, awesome stuff. Talk to you soon. Peace out.
Carl Rodriguez is the GMologist, GM extraordinaire, the GMologist.
Hello everyone and welcome to the GMologist Presents. Welcome to my continuing evaluation of my RPG hobby through RPGaDay 2023 and trying to be as positive as possible. Well, you should be positive, right? It's a great hobby. I love it. I love all the friends that I have from it and continue to make and continue to meet. So, let's do this day number 2. Day number 2, the prompt is your first RPG game master. Now, granted, I do most of the game mastering myself, but if we're focusing at it from the player perspective, my first game master was a guy named Mike Bundy, and I know what game he ran. He introduced me to Star Frontiers back in the day. We were at one of these UIL competitions waiting for our test time, and he had brought the game, and we said, "Hey, man, let's play." So he was my first game master, and after that, I believe I tracked down or looked for Star Frontiers and ran it myself. But and before that, I had like the BX box set and some AD&D products, but I think I had either not started running or had run very cursorily. And I haven't talked to Mike Bundy in ages and ages since like high school time frame, which was back in the 80s. But I did see, I'm pretty sure he lives in Houston, and I did recently was reached out to by a friend of mine who I played some of those early games, who I went to middle school and high school with, who is friends with this guy. So maybe I'll reach out to him sometime this year. We will see. So the prompt for day 3 is, what is the first RPG that you bought this year? And I had to do some digging. I looked at a few credit card statements, and it seems like the first RPG I bought this year was on January 10th, and that was at Dragon's Lair San Antonio. And then I had to do some more digging to see which product it actually was, but fortunately it was a product. So Dragon's Lair San Antonio participates in a program called Bits and Mortar, whereby you support your brick and mortar store by buying the product there, and then a lot of companies will then give them a code so they can give you the PDF. So through that sort of investigation, I discovered that the product that I bought was a product for Warhammer Fantasy 4th Edition, the Imperial Zoo. And it was the deluxe edition that has a faux green leather cover with gold lettering. It's like a treatise done by some zookeeper, imperial zookeeper guy, fictitious dude in the imperial capital. And he goes over and documents all the creatures in the zoo or that he's encountered out in his adventures. So it's a really very nice product, has some cool stats and amazing art for monsters. I highly recommend it. And of course I got the deluxe edition because I like collecting things like that. So that was the first product I bought this year. In contrast, the next prompt is, what is the game you bought most recently? That one's pretty easy. I bought some stuff last week, Thursday, again at Dragon's Lair San Antonio, the one at the medical center, by the way, not the one out in Elmo Ranch, if anyone's keeping score. So those, and it was 3 products actually, and I bought them at the same time. They were Salzamund, a Warhammer Fantasy product about the capital of Nordland, which is a province on the northern part of the empire that has had a very contentious history, fighting off Norska raiders and dark elf incursions, and full of internal politics. It's very interesting and exciting, and I really could use some of the tidbits I've already found in reading it as bridges to do things, either as a side quest for the Enemy Within campaign that I'm currently running, or for new quests that are stimulated by or informed by some of the, not the minions is not the right term, the employees of the current characters, which could be kind of cool. The other product I bought was Winter of the Atom, which is an adventure book, like a mini campaign for Fallout RPG from Modiphius 2D20. And that looks really promising and pretty exciting. I do not know much about the Fallout universe, so it's easier for me, instead of trying to figure things out and develop my own adventures, or I guess buying all the games and playing them, to just run the published adventures. And I will rely on my players to fill in the gaps for the Fallout universe, which has happened actually. So when we went to Diamond City, the players recognized some of the characters that they met as NPCs in the Fallout game from the computer game, which I thought was kind of neat. I thought it was neat. I think they thought it was cool too. So the other product that I bought was a book from, I think it's Scion Hero or Demigod, but it is the Scion Book of Mythos. So Scion, you play like the Avatar, not the Avatar, you play a member of the bloodline of a particular god, much like American Gods. If you have read American Gods by Neil Gaiman or seen the show, I believe it's on Stars, then you know that these people are like the descendants. The main characters are the descendants of gods. The gods interact with them, etc. In a modern sort of context, so it's like modern, it's like urban fantasy. And in the Book of Mythos, you are of the bloodline of one of the elder gods or great old ones somehow. And it looks really cool and interesting. And I know my players have been wanting to do some sort of heroic Call of Cthulhu adjacent type of game, whether it's Octoon Cthulhu or Pulp Cthulhu. And I've always wanted to run some sort of Scion game, and this looked appealing to me, and I showed it to my players, and they were kind of excited as they get, I guess, with that when it comes to new games, because we have a whole queue of games that we want to play, and they grow every day. Everything from, G.I. Joe, Transformers, My Little Pony, Power Rangers mashup to Alien RPG or something else. So anyway, those are my kind of answers for days 2 through 4. I like to keep these short and sweet. So I hope you've enjoyed them. A little delve into my hobby through these prompts, and I think it's been a pretty cool thing. So thank you, Brian Chapman and Anthony Boyd, for putting the 10th anniversary of RPGaDay together. And you can interact with me. This is a Geomologist Presents. You can shoot me an email at geomologist@gmail.com or leave me a voice recorded message there. Leave me a voice recorded message or a text message as a direct message through Discord. You can also leave me a message on SpeakPipe. It's linked in the show notes. Or try to leave me a message using the Spotify for Podcaster website. So thank you so much. TJ Drennan does the intro and outro music. My wife Amy does the cover clip art. And today I might, I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I have a few days, but it actually might be the cover of one of the new products that I bought. Or maybe one of the old products that I bought. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Good night and good rolling.